On a fantastic night on Tyneside, Newcastle beat Manchester United 2-1, going down to 10 men in the 45th minute and scoring an 89th minute winner via William Asula, probably one of the best live goals I've ever seen. This is the works. This is everything from pre-match Eddie through to the final score in Word. And in between, the team news, my predictions, half-time report and full-time report. I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. Enjoy watching the whole event again. Hello, I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. Today we're looking at Eddie Howe's press conference, insights, tactics, discussion, and key match build-up analysis follows. Eddie was first of all asked about the games coming up in the next week, Man U, Man City and Barcelona. What a week. These are the weeks that we dream about, by the way, when Newcastle were in the old second division, facing the likes of Oxford in Bristol Rovers away. These are fantastic days. Just keep that in mind when you think about what could have been. So here we go. He said they're all pivotal games. We can't play with any fear, and we can only look forward. On Michael Carrick, he said he's definitely tweaked a few things tactically. He has been a real positive for them. So Eddie's really up for this match. And next he was asked about can the team rise to the occasion, but why they falter at other times. He said the psychology of sport and human beings is a difficult one. No joke. He said, we're trying to find solutions to every problem that we have. We feel we made progress this season, but then we take a step back from a point where we just moved forward. It has been a mental challenge for all of us. So like the rest of us, he's still trying to find the answers to why we are a bit Jekyll and Hyde at times. Eddie was asked about social media criticism again, coming from certain sections of the supporter and fan base. Again, he answered straight away and said, that's news to me, just like he did last week. He said there are people in the club that keep their eyes on these things. For me, it's not a world that I can go into because if I do read it and absorb it, then my opinions will be swayed by nonsense. Totally agree, Eddie. On Nick in particular, he said he's doing well. I would never react positively or negatively just because of an individual's performance by a player. It's all about the long term for me. Eddie was asked about whether he stands by the premise of living and dying by recruitment, to which he replied, yeah, definitely. Recruitment is everything. If you get it wrong, it's very difficult to have the success you want. You have to take a long-term view on it, though. Of course, there's question marks and opinions. Sometimes players need time to prove their worth and settle in. And he's got the track record here, folks, of players maybe starting slow but turning into really, really fantastic players. You know, he had Hall for a whole season sitting on the bench. And now look at Hall. Ramsey's turned up and he's Seller Player of the Month for February. So it does happen. We just need time and patience. On the injuries and fitness of players, he said Ramsey, he was in yesterday and he trained absolutely fine. But there is some sickness bug going around because now Big Nick, has gone downhill with it. So we'll have to wait to see if he's actually involved at all now on Wednesday evening. On Tino Livramento, again, not quite there. He said, we're desperate to get him back, but it has to come at the right time, and he's taking the medical team's advice on all of this. So Jacob Ramsey's just been named Seller Player of the Month for February. So congratulations to him. He's had a great month, scored his first goal, played regularly, and has definitely improved. He's slotted into the way that Eddie wants to play now, and it's really, really good. So sometimes players need time to prove their worth and settle into what we ask them to do, said Eddie. The North East Football Writers Association have voted Lewis Miley Young Player of the Year, so congratulations to him. Lewis has played 30 times this season already. He became Newcastle's youngest Champions League scorer. His continued rise as one of England's brightest young midfielders. Huge recognition for a proper Toon talent coming through the ranks. Congratulations, Lewis. Like everyone else that follows Newcastle, I'm a huge fan. Have been all my life, thanks to my dad and my mum. And I've seen a lot of Newcastle live, not recently due to health circumstances. However, I'm enjoying doing these vlogs and videos, and I will continue to do them. So stick around. So I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. My video vlogs look to reflect the facts, look to reflect the talking points, try to come up with conclusions and post-match perspective, balance, by the way, and discussion. So if you're interested, join me. Hit the like button if you like the videos. Subscribe, absolutely free. If you're watching this on TikTok, hit the follow button. And next up will be my match day review, pre-match, and predictions, team and score. So that'll be coming out tomorrow morning, Wednesday, match day. All right, have a great evening. Have a great day. Hello, I'm Ken, and this is your match day programme, Newcastle United against Manchester United this evening. On our current league form, Newcastle should lose tonight. However, it's masked slightly by our success in the Cups and in Europe. But we go into this match desperately looking to recover and get some defence in place and to get some points on the board. In comparison, since Michael Carrick turned up and took over temporary charge of Manchester United, they've gone on a winning run, scoring 13, conceding 5, 6 wins in the last 7 matches, compared to Newcastle's poor performance recently. So 3 of the key talking points for tonight is the reaction at St James's Park. We need to get behind the team, obviously, support the lads and look for a win against Manchester United. Will this be won in midfield? Potentially. Will we be more physical than Manchester United? Most likely, especially with Joe Linton there and Tonali, and then the creativity of Ramsey. But it really comes down to clinical finishing. If we can have our shooting boots on and manufacture a couple of really good goals, then we have a chance this evening. We also need to defend as a team. So 5 things that I would like Newcastle to do this evening is 1, start fast from the beginning, win the midfield battle, obviously, take our chances, but stay compact defensively, and to use the crowd, who will be well up for this, as we always have been when Manchester United have visited St James's Park. A point or 3 points this evening would definitely help. I don't think we're in a relegation battle, to be honest, but we do need to pick up some points, and tonight is a very good chance to make it happen if we can defend and then take our chances. So that's the match preview. Coming straight after this is the predictions, so stay tuned. I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. And now we're going to predict the team and score tonight. Just before we get to the predictions, like I say, I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. For deeper reflection, talking points, conclusions in post-match perspective and discussion, this is what I aim to deliver. So I think the key here is that the likely setup that I would like to see is a 5-3-2 when we're out of possession and a 3-5-2 when we have the ball. That would allow for three centre-halves of Chow, Botman and Byrne, with Trippier and Hall as our wing-backs. Midfield being staffed by Sandro Tonali and Joe Linton. And then up front, Barnes and Gordon coming in from the wings and Big Nick down the middle. That it does depend on Big Nick not being sick, by the way. And if that was the case, then I guess we would be going with Johan Visser. I see this formation giving us some defensive qualities when we don't have the ball, and also quite a few attacking options when we do have the ball. So, prediction score. My heart says a galloping win, obviously. 2-1 or 3-1. However, I think we might end up with a draw at 1-1. And then really worst case would be losing 2-1 to Manchester United. So looking forward to the match, as always. And fingers crossed we can get out of this home rut that we're in. So this video is part of a match series that runs along the lines of Eddie's conference, my predictions and MatchDay programme. And then there'll be a half-time report, a full-time report, and then a final report. So stay tuned. If you like this, hit the like button. If you wish to see all of that, hit the subscribe button. Absolutely free. And if you're on TikTok, hit that follow button. And thank you for watching again. Hello, I'm Ken. Eddie's named his team to play Manchester United this evening. Couple of surprises, so here we go. Let's take a look at it. So in my prediction video, I went for a formation of 5-3-2 without the ball and 3-5-2 with the ball. However, we're playing 4-3-3. It may be driven by the fact that Big Nick is off ill, with the same illness that Ramsey had. Ramsey is back. So in goal, Ramsdale in for Pope. Pope on the bench. Back four of Trippier, Chow, Byrne and Hall. Midfield of Ramsey, Tonali, Joe Linton. And then up front we've got Ilanga, Gordon and Barnes. On the bench we've got Pope, Botman, Visser, Sulla, Jacob Murphy, Alex Murphy, Sahar, Neve, and Willock. So we'll have to wait and see whether we can defend well enough to snatch a goal or two and not let any in. That's the plan for tonight. Defence first. That's my thought. Okay, enjoy the match. I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. There'll be a half-time report coming out, and then a full-time report, and then a final score word tomorrow. Take care. If only we could live without referees. 1-1 at half-time, and the referee has taken centre stage yet again. A lively start by Newcastle was in full support. Barnes tried to curl one in from the 14th minute, top bins. It was just over, which was the theme of the shots that we had. About five, I think, in about the first 25 minutes. Ramsey was booked in the 26th minute for a tug on a Man U player. It was slight, to be honest, compared to what goes on normally at corners in the box, etc. In the 33rd minute, Joe Linton broke from the halfway line, went down the middle, had Barnes and Gordon either side, and went for the shot, and it went miles over, sadly. Then we had a spate of bookings, one for Manu, Joe Linton, who got really miffed with it for a tug on a Manu player. Probably should have just shut up afterwards. But then Shaw for Manu got booked for a foul a minute later on Hilanga. Great save by Ramsey in the 42nd minute from a shot from outside the box, and then it all kicked off. 44th minute, and now it's again Ramsdale, this time away, and it was a big miss by Manu forward who should have scored. And then we were back up the other end in Ramsdale. Goal, faintness of touch, he went down, potentially a faintness of touches, could have been a foul. Referee turned to him, booked him for a dive, and then sent him off for a second because it was his second yellow. Absolutely shocking decision. It was he was running at goal, at pace. He fell over after some contact. Dear oh dear, bleeding referees. And then, to my surprise, a minute later, Gordon's fouled in the box by Ferdinando, and it's a penalty. The ref gives it straight away. He's got something right at last. 1-0 to Newcastle. Only 3 minutes of added time. Yet in the 8th or 9th minute of added time, the referee gives a foul. The ball is crossed in, and Casemiro gets to the ball before Hall and heads it into the net. 1-1, and the referee is an absolutely disgrace. And just so we can bring my blood, Gordon scored by himself and then with his teammates. And good on him. He knows how to take a penalty, does Anthony Gordon. It should come as no surprise. Referee shocking. We've seen him before. We've seen them all before. I really don't have anything decent now to say about the referees in the Premier League. You can see from the attacking momentum, probably for the first, up to about the 25th minute or so, we were well in control. Man U then had a spell. We then had another spell, resulting in Ramsey going down in the box and then being sent off for a perceived dive. And that's how the first half ended. So we go into the second half, 1-1, 10 men, and a lot to do to get this point or even get 3. What a second half. What a team. This is Newcastle United. Newcastle 2, Manchester United 1. 10 men, Newcastle, and the better team in the second half. And this is how it happened. If you ever wondered why we support Newcastle United with such passion and desire, this summed it up this evening. Beating Manchester United with 10 men for the whole of the second half, 2-1. So if we look at the first sort of 20, 25 minutes, Newcastle just kept pressing. 65th minute, Tonali takes a kick, great delivery. Gordon wants handball. The ref says no. The ref continued his pathetic performance all night, and VAR agreed with him. 66th minute, Gordon was free at the back post. Great cross. Just can't quite get it. Slips and misses. Oh dear. 69th minute, Trippier is elbowed by Cunha and fouled. No booking, of course. Never was going to be. Corner to Newcastle in the 75th minute. Dan Burn. What a defender. Who needs speed? The crowd in the ground, the fans were warming to this and getting louder and louder. Instinctive save by Ramsdale. Brilliant from a header by a Man U player in the 74th minute. 76th minute. Ramsey's down again. Physio is treating him. But Man U can't get past him and make 2 subs. 78th minute, Willock is fouled by Shaw again. A second booking. I would have thought, oh no, of course not. The referee doesn't agree with me. 84th minute, Murphy and Osula come on for Gordon and Elanga, who run their guts out and their legs. And 88th minute, Ramsdale, top corner, it was going in, tips it over. What a save. Just look at the picture on here. And then 89th minute, everything erupts. Osula gathers the ball, wins it on the touchline, runs in across the box from the corner, from the right-hand corner of the box to the left hand of the goal, hits it, launches it, what a blinder, into the net, Newcastle 2-1, gets in. Dan Burns named man of the match by Ali McCoist, and 5 minutes of added time are added on. I wonder what the ref will do this time. It was only 3 in the first half, yet he added another. It ended at about the 10th minute. Yeah, the ref did his best to add on more and more time. 5 minutes. I think he blew by about the 99th or the 100th minute. And this is why we support Newcastle United. What a result. 10 men for the second half, playing Man U and the referee. With 10 men, we were the better team. Take a bow, William Osula. What a goal. And take a bow, Aaron Ramsdale. What a goalie this evening. So you can see from the attack momentum chart, Man U, first half of the second half, we were well in control, and then the legs got to us. And Man U had that spell, quite a long spell really, probably about 15, 20 minutes where they were attacking us. And we were defending, but we were defending as a team, and it worked. And then you can see that goal from Osula get in. So that's it for this video, the full-time report. And look out for my final word score report tomorrow, where I have a ton of pictures to share with you, showing everything that happened in the second half. And what Eddie said afterwards, what some of the players said afterwards, and my thoughts, and a few discussion points about why refereeing in the Premier League and the VAR is so bad. Not just for Newcastle, but for nearly every team. I'm Ken, and this is Inside The Toon. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you're on TikTok, hit that follow button. Have a great evening, folks. Away the lads. Welcome back. This is the final word and score report. Newcastle 2, Manchester United 1, on what was one of the best nights of the season and one of the most emphatic wins for Newcastle United against Manchester United. 10 men. Osula scored a goal that if you saw it live, it probably is the best live goal you've ever seen. So in this report, you're going to see pictures, you're going to see post-match comments and thoughts from Eddie, from Osula, from Ramsdale, and from myself, and a ton of stats. Well, not a ton of stats, a few stats, but a ton of pictures. So enjoy, I'm not going to say a huge amount. I'm just going to let you enjoy it. Pause the video and just soak it all in. What a result. Away the lads. And where else could I start but with the celebration team picture that Eddie insists on every time we win. Just look at all those smiling faces. Get in. Eddie, speaking to the BBC Match of the Day people, said an amazing night. It was a great performance all the way through. 11 versus 11, 11 versus 10, and probably 12 versus 10 if you include the referee. I thought we deserved to win. You bet we did. Eddie was asked about Anthony Gordon. He said he's turned into a very good penalty taker for us. He earned the penalty himself with a typical drive and run. I think the pairing of Gordon and Elanga gave them trouble in the second half. At 10 men, you know your goalkeeper is going to have to make some saves. He's top-class keeper with really good experience, Mr. Ramsdale. Eddie said on Asula's goal in winner, he did 10 shots at the end of training and he wanted more. Fair play to him. It's the desire to repeat and to practice. He delivered an amazing moment for the supporters here. A big moment for us. We've proved we're competitive against any team. You bet we are. And the celebrations just went on. The crowd, the players, all soaking in what was a fantastic goal as Asula cut in, stopped the ball going out first for a throw-in, cut in past two players, and then launched it into the far corner of the net, round the goalie who had no chance. Good on you, Mr. Asula. I am so pleased for Aaron Ramsdale. His distribution is ace, and he's come in for a huge amount of criticism when he's come in and let a few goals in. Was it his fault? Some were, some weren't. But speaking to TNT, you could just see the relief on him and the smiling face. He said, I just carried on running. Almost fell over and saw the net ripple. He did a slide at the other end. I don't have a picture, I'm sorry, but he did a knee slide. He just thought Williams' goal was fantastic. And his own performance tonight, he really enjoyed it. I've had opportunities which has been tough to get this year, and hopefully today I've helped with this man to get 3 points, talking about Will. And it's about kicking on, and we want to be resilient. And with 10 men, we may as well have had 13 men with the crowd. It's been an excellent night for us. Well said, Mr. Aaron Ramsdale. And Aaron had more to say. He said, massive. I think I saw a stat that we've not had a free midweek since the November international break. We've been down to our bare bones. At times we've been working as hard as we can, haven't got the results. We've got some huge games to look forward to, and that's what the fans want. It's what we want as players. We're not going to complain about it, but we need to stand up and be counted for now. It wasn't just one save in that second half. It wasn't just two. It wasn't just three. It was four. What a goalie. What a performance. Just soak it all in. Pause this video and take a look at those saves. And then continue watching, obviously. So when the final whistle went, Will Asula just had a smile on his face all the time. Even when the BBC Match of the Day people interviewed him. He said, I was training yesterday in the training drill. I only had one thing on my mind. Thank God it went in. I know I can take the players on and have an end product. It's so loud in this stadium, St James's Park. It's the best fan base in the world. It's top. What a man. Talking to TNT, standing next to Aaron Ramsdale, he said, "That's the best feeling ever. I am so happy for that. When I came on, I just prayed that I was going to score and make something happen. And thank God that's what happened." On the message to him at halftime, what I got told was come in and make an impact on the game. Glory to God. That's what happened today. So let's appreciate William Osula, shall we? Look at the ball. It's nearly out on that touchline. Then he cuts into the edge of the penalty area. Then he shoots. And look where the goalie is. And look at the ball. It's in the right-hand side of the net. Get in. So while we are appreciating things, let's celebrate some more, shall we? Look at Dan Burn and Aaron Ramsdale after the match. Look at Graham Jones with the winner, with Osula. Look at Mr. Hall and Mr. Gordon. And then look at the manager, Eddie Howe. Get in. At one point, I wasn't going to do this slide, player of the match. They're all players of the match for me today, including those that came on, including Mr. Osula. But SofaScore determined that Anthony Gordon ran his socks off and was player of the match. That's all right with me. Ali McCoy said it was Dan Burn, by the way. Stats don't win games, goals do. But if you look at the attack momentum chart across the first half and the second half, we were well in this game. And even in the second half, when Manchester United were pressing us, we defended. And that's what we wanted tonight. We wanted to be able to defend. Our XG, 2.22. Theirs was 1.28, so 2-1 was the correct score, according to XG. 12 total shots to us, 14 to them, 2 big chances, 4 to them, 4 goalie saves by Ramsdale and 3 by them. It was pretty even, folks. At the time of recording this, most of the YouTubers are still out celebrating in Newcastle. There's a couple of us that were prepared to do a report. Adam P was straight out with his. Manchester United, it said, got what they deserved. Pete said, "Get in, Osula." And I think he's still shouting Osula at the moment. Paul, he did his reaction, and I still have to watch it. I will, Paul. And then we got the highlights from TNT and Match of the Day. I probably could have put another dozen slides together, but at some point this needs to end. And I'll save it. Maybe I'll do a big one eventually when I look back in the summer when there's no football on. But this was the match. Is this the turning point? Well, we got Man City and Barcelona next at home under the lights. If we beat them, then my God, will this be the turning point? And probably the best season ever, by the way. So if you can stand the excitement and you want to do it all again, 8 p.m. Saturday evening, FA Cup, 5th round, Manchester City at home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my match series and you like it, then hit the like button. Subscribe, because I'm going to continue doing this. And follow if you're on TikTok. Take care and have a great evening and week. I will.